Okay, let me just emphasize on this. A lot of people still don't understand. Admissions is going to start in Romania by March. Yes, and you need to understand that different schools process admissions differently. Romania accepts English documents in English.
Beautiful people, welcome back to our channel again, and thank you so much for watching this video today. So today we want to talk about another affordable university in Europe, and this time I'm going to be taking you to the European Union. Guys, look, if you are thinking of moving abroad now, this is to those who have plans of going to Canada. Remember, there is an update. I'm explaining this so that those who do not know, those who haven't watched previous videos, should know that there is an update in Canada right now. And the minister, I don't know if it's the minister or the government, they said, or IRCC, they said international students who intend to apply or wanted to study, apply for study visas to Canada 2024 have to wait till March 31st. Now, what are you waiting for? If you don't know, you are waiting for what is called an attestation. I have a video I did explaining all of this. Now, the problem is the Canadian government says they need just 360,000 students this year, right, on study permit. Excellent. First, let me explain these details before I proceed with this cheap school in Europe, right? Now, what is the guarantee that after they issue these attestations, because they say they need just 360, you have to think now, are you sure first that after they give you this attestation and you apply for the visa, you are going to get the visa? That is point number one. You have to think about it. Secondly, how are we sure that everybody is going to get this attestation? That is the second thing. And thirdly, are you sure that when you apply for the visa, you are going to get it from April? Because 31st of March is already April. Look into these things I just mentioned now, then make a decision. If you think it is not suitable, apply to schools in Europe. This is my advice for you. I said this in that other video. Now let's proceed with the other video, with this video now proper. This school I'm going to be talking about is in Europe. First, my name is Milton Fonkwa if you're watching me for the first time, and you can equally call me the chairman of the broke community. Yes, because I bring things that the broke community, you and I, we don't have the money, right? We are struggling, so that is why I'm here. So I call myself the chairman of the broke community. Thank you so much. So guys, if you are looking for schools in Europe, then this school in Italy is one of the schools you should consider. It is called the University of Pisa in Italy. And first, let me elaborate on the options you have, like the scholarships. Then I talk about the requirements before we talk about the programs available and some things you need to know. Now, remember, Italy is one of the cheapest countries you can study. If you do not have money to go to other places, understand that Italy is one of the cheapest. But if you are looking for places to migrate with your family as well, a good country, I would recommend, if you do not have that money to go to Canada, I would recommend you go to Denmark. In Denmark, you will get 3 years postgraduate work permit after you finish your master's program, and you can move with your family on a student visa to Denmark. This is fact, I'm telling you. Do more research about it and you would understand. Now, there are a lot of scholarships if you are looking at universities in Italy, but a lot of people do not know this. Why? Because they are not doing research. Yeah, there are scholarships in Italy. There is one called the Italian Government Scholarship, and this, I think this is usually done, application is around July or August. Yeah, I'm not very certain. Please check it again. And every university in Italy, including this school, the University of Pisa, has a scholarship called the Regional Scholarship, and that of the University of Pisa, this school I'm talking about, is 8,000 euro worth. As this scholarship is 8,000 euros, they will give you this money to take care of your accommodation, transportation, food, and everything. Now, there are a lot of programs. You can study bachelors in English, masters in English, or PhD in this particular university in Italy. Equally check for the other scholarship options. There are a lot of other scholarships depending on nationality, and there are other scholarships depending on study performance. But this regional scholarship is a fixed scholarship that is only given to people based on their family income. I hope you get my point correctly. Tuition fee at the University of Pisa is around 2,400. You may have some programs that are quite affordable or cheap, but you should expect 2,400. Now, if you win this regional scholarship, automatically you are studying for free. This is what it covers your tuition, it covers your accommodation, it covers your transportation, living expenses. So they will be giving you some stipends every month. Then remember, there are other scholarships you should check, like I mentioned before. Let's take a look at the programs available at the University of Pisa. They have a lot of programs, like I told you before, and if you are looking at their website, I will drop a link to their website in the video description box so that you can verify all the details. They have programs related to economics, if not related, but the same programs, economics, related to artificial intelligence. They have a program called data science and engineering. There is also cyber security. There is also medical sciences. There is also neurosciences. There is also veterinary medicine. There is also economics. I mentioned that before. There is social sciences. There is engineering and a whole lot of other programs. I just picked these few to explain to you. These are the programs you are going to find at the University of Pisa. I will recommend you apply now so that you do not wait to the tail end, because remember, there are two application cycles, first phase and second phase. If you let others take those positions, then you will not be selected at the second phase. And remember, they will equally be looking at the programs or your academic qualifications, so you shouldn't worry about that. Now remember, when you want to move to Italy as an international student, you have to consider your sponsor. A lot of people do not know, though these schools are quite affordable, there is something called the regional scholarships, which I mentioned before. And of course, there are other programs that are quite expensive than these cheap programs. Now, what happens is, if you have an admission in such a program and you do not get the regional scholarship, you would pay from your pockets. But if you get the regional scholarship or maybe the Italian government scholarship later on, because these scholarships are not the same, some you apply after the first semester. So if you cannot get them, then that is a disadvantage. But there are other programs that are quite expensive and you will have to pay from your pocket. Please note this. Then this is all about the university. When you now get your admissions, you can now start your visa process. It is as straightforward as you can ever imagine. The only thing you need to do is to do proper legalization of your documents and translation, if at all those documents are not in English. Now we have talked about everything. Let's take a look at the requirements to study at the University of Pisa in Italy. As an international student, you need all requirements in order to go. For example, if you are going for bachelors, you need your WAEC as a Nigerian, or an A levels as a Cameroonian, maybe your WASI as a Ghanaian, mature, I don't know if they accept mature certificate as a Ghanaian. Liberians, Kenyans, Moroccans, South Africans, they also have their own qualifications that they can use to apply to such universities. Then after that, if you are going for masters, you can now add your bachelor's degree certificate to these other requirements I mentioned, depending on your nationality. Now remember, your master's degree, your bachelor's degree certificate must be ready, and the transcript, very important. Then if you are going for PhD, you add your masters to these other ones, so to make them complete. Let's take a look at some of the things you should note if you are looking at Europe. Remember, Europe is quite affordable compared to Canada, US, and maybe Australia. Yes, a lot of people still do not know, and not all European countries are quite cheap. Some will charge you cheap fee, and of course you are going to give them more money for proof of funds. Some will charge you too much money, but the visa process is not that complicated. I hope you get, like for example, a country like Denmark will charge you maybe millions for tuition fee, but there are jobs. You can move with your family, right? You can move with your family. There are jobs, and of course you can also get 3 years postgraduate work permit when you study in Denmark, right? This is the advantage you have. And again, their interview is not, in fact, they don't have anything called interview. Okay, so you have to put all of this into consideration before you apply to any school. But remember, you need money to do all these processes. Schools in Italy are quite cheap, though some will charge you more. Others do not offer the programs you may be looking for, but I will encourage you to check them, check the regional scholarship, check the Italian government scholarship, and before you know, you will be in Italy. Now, another school as a bonus I want to add here is the University of Pavia. The University of Pavia is also one of the cheapest schools in Italy. Application fee is 35 euros and the tuition fee is about 400 euros. Check them out. This is not the only school in Italy with a very cheap tuition, others equally have this same tuition, even less. But now if you do not check, you may not know, or you cannot know if you don't do the research. So guys, look at all of these, then prepare your visa documents, look for your proof of funds, you attach, you submit your application, you pray and you relax. This is the only way out. I will be talking about other videos from maybe Cyprus. I will be talking about Switzerland. I will be talking about Lithuania. I will be talking about Slovenia, Slovakia, Czech Republic very soon in subsequent videos. So I will encourage you to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, so that when I post the next video, you'll be able to see it. Please do that now for me. Here again to talk about something a follower asked me. This person is trying to verify what is the cost of moving to Denmark and how is the requirement, or what are the requirements. Let me put it this way. Well, when it comes to cost to move to Denmark, you should be ready to block at least $15,000. Yeah, this should be the minimum. Now, why I say so is because most schools in Denmark charge a lot of money, at least 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 euros per year. So when these schools give you an offer letter, they would ask you to block the money in an account. They have a way they will do it. They can be the ones to give you the account. Sometimes the school will give you the account to block this money inside. Then when you block the money, you inform them, they verify, then they give you evidence to show the embassy. Now, when you block this money, the school will remove their tuition fee when you arrive Denmark. Then the rest will be transferred to your bank account when you create a bank account. Because when you enter Denmark, you are going to create your own personal bank account as soon as you get your residence permit. Then the rest money will be transferred to your bank account. This is the procedure. Now, let's take a look at the documents. You need basically your high school documents, but remember, these documents must be very powerful. What I mean here is, do not go scoring a number of C's. Like, at least let your results be great. If you are using O and A levels, you should have something, a powerful results, you understand, to guarantee you a place. But you must remember, in Denmark, universities teach bachelors in Dutch. That is to say, you cannot study bachelors in English. If you want to study in English language, you must apply for masters. And now with the master's degree, you need IELTS. You cannot study with English proficiency. You need IELTS. This is a fact, and if you do not have IELTS, this is going to be disadvantageous for you, or it's going to be like a disadvantage for you. So please try to put all of this into consideration. Remember, Denmark will give you 3 years postgraduate work permits after you finish your study program to look for a job. Trust me, this is a very powerful country. Currency top-notch, jobs available. You don't need to think twice. Like I said, just trust this information. Then remember, you can also migrate to Denmark with your spouse. It is now a decision for you to make. I wish you all the best, and more videos will drop on my YouTube channel.